Hello, hello, and welcome. I am Chanti with Completely Crafty by Chanti. I'm just going to find myself here. There we go. All right, welcome, welcome. Again, I am Chanti with Completely Crafty by Chanti. I want to first thank Dawn and Susan for putting on this wonderful marathon. We've had some great projects going on. Hey, Margie. So what I'm working on today is each of the rooms in my home has a different theme. And so my breakfast room has a rustic feel to it. So I am using, hi, Kathy. I am using this 36-inch Evergreen base. And we're going to jazz it up with some buffalo check because I have a pencil tree in the corner of my room. And we're going to jazz it up with some patterns, black and white check as well as the red and black. I was teasing Christy. She was the presenter before me. She and Tracy did 2 projects, and I said, I am praying, Lord, just to get through my one. So I was impressed that these ladies could actually get 2 projects done in an hour. So very nice. So what I've done, unfortunately you may not be able to see, I've taken this 10-inch black and white mesh, and I cut it at 20 inches. And what I'm going to do, hey Laura, what I'm going to do is just fill this in just to give it a little base, and then I will add some accessories. So what I'm going to do, sorry my wreath is so big it's going to be hard for you to see, but I'm just going to curl the ends and just do, hey Dawn, thank you so much for putting this on. I'm just going to do like a little messy curl, and I'm going to add this in throughout. This is a 2-layer ring, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some at the bottom, some at the top. Now, I only cut out about 12, so we'll see how much the 12 fills in and if I'll need to add any more. How are you, Laura? So again, I cut my mesh, my 10-inch mesh at 20 inches, and I'm just going to do a couple crunches. I was telling Dawn this is my first marathon, but I was excited when she put the offer out there. Hello, hello everyone. I have a 36-inch base, and I am making a wreath for I have a bank of windows in my breakfast room, and I am going to make a wreath to go on the top of one of those windows. And right now I'm just filling in the base with this black and white mesh. Thank you for sprinkling. Just using this mesh just as some filler. I have plenty of goodies to put on top. It'll probably be a hodgepodge of things. On the pencil tree, I have wooden signs. I have owls, 2 different types of owls. So some are red and white, some are the black and white checkered, some of the red and white checkered. So it's just a combination of some rustic buffalo plaid. And hopefully as I'm turning the wreath around, you can see what I'm doing with the mesh. putting some on the top layer, some on the bottom layer, just as some filler. I am hoping that I have been nice and not on Santa's naughty list, because one of my gift wishes was to get a Mevo so that you can get a better angle of what I'm doing. So hopefully either my husband or my son will pick that up for me for Christmas. How is everyone joining the marathon so far? I might have to cut just a couple more, but we might be good. Kathy, I'm loving it too. I was having today has been a day. We had a lot going on. My son asked if we could decorate at his house. So my husband and he's out of town. My son is. And so while he's out of town, me and my husband went and decorated his house. Thank you so much for sprinkling. So it's just been a crazy, crazy day. And I sell real estate, so I'm also trying to close a deal. So it has definitely just been one thing after another today, but it's all good. I don't think I will. I thought I was going to need to cut more, but I think 12 is good. Just do this last one here. This is a pretty big base, 36 inches. So we have a couple of things to fill it up. So here is what we have so far. This is a 36-inch base, and I cut 12 10-inch mesh, 10-inch mesh cut at 20 inches, and I cut 12 of them. All right, so that's first. I think I picked this up at the end of the season last year, so I thought I would add it to my project. Now, normally I would cut these ends off if I was actually going to sell this, but because it's for my own personal use, I'm going to leave it, and I'll hide the top part. I'll hide the top part with a bow or the sign. Yes, ma'am, it is a big one. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to use, again, if I was selling this, I would definitely secure it with some zip ties, but I'm just going to use the tinsel from the base. And it'll be hanging indoors, so I don't have to worry about the weather. And I'm just using ties here just to secure it down. I don't want to mess up my mesh. Thank you so much. I kept telling myself I have to pace myself because I normally try to make sure my lives are under an hour, so I will try not to zoom through this. Yes, we all appreciate the sprinkling. I've only been in business for just under a year, or just over a year, really. And I've only been doing lives probably, it hasn't been a year yet. So, anything that will help get more people to our pages is great. So it doesn't come all the way up, but I'm going to put a bow here at the top. So we have that. And I was watching, I believe her name is Willie, and she mentioned Dawn says that she likes her loops to be at 5, 5.5. So I'm going to try that today. I normally do 6 inches, but I'm going to try the 5 to see how that works for me. All right, I'm just going to tie the top parts down just so that they're not all loosey-goosey. Okay. All right, so here are a couple of things that we have to add to. There's going to be a lot of jingling going on. So I picked these up from Hobby Lobby this year. Some bells with some pine cones on it. When I went back, they only had one of these. So I'll figure out where I can put it. They had a couple of these little guys. I picked this up at the dollar store. I picked these up at the dollar store as well. I think we'll have one more sign. The first sign said peace. The second sign says believe. And as I was saying earlier, on the pencil tree that I have in my breakfast room, it has wooden signs and it has a couple of these put on. So I was trying to get a coordinating wreath to add to the collection. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to put some of this aside. I'm going to go ahead and start attaching some of my goodies. Let's do my balls first. I'm going to turn so that I can see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to do this at maybe that 5 o'clock. Let's see. I'm going to double up on the loop just so that it's not dangling too much. All right, and then I'm going to put another one up here. It's a nice sound, but I know it can be loud on a live, so I apologize. All right, and then I think I'm going to put one here at the top. I know I have 3, so let's see. Get my stash together. All right, one more. if you're watching me for the first time, I would love to know where you're watching from. I need to redo this one. Hello, Ohio. I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but we reside now in West Virginia. Hello, Pennsylvania. What part of Pennsylvania? Okay, so here is what we have so far. Michigan. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so we have that. So then let's tie in a couple of these, I think they're paper, like corrugated paper that they've cut into some pine cones. So we're going ahead and add this. Thank you. Indiana. Hi, Mel. We will just add a couple just so we can fill it up. And I see the time I am going fast, so I'm going to start to slow down a little bit. Cincinnati. Okay. I love it that we get to meet so many people. Thank you. Just because I don't like to see the white of the garland, I'm just going to start twisting some more because I just don't care to see that. All right. So I need to put a couple of, I don't think I proportioned that right. So I will, I may have to go back. Oh, yeah. I don't have a even number of these pine cones, so I will just put this one here at the top where the bow is going to go. Cut some of the stragglers. You all know how mesh gets. Stop it before it gets crazy. Okay. Just looking to see if I need to add any more filler. I might cut a couple more pieces because there's a lot of greenery happening. So let me go ahead and do that. But I'll show you what we have. Thanks, Robin. Just going to cut a couple couple more oh, you know what I just realized? I did not leave room for my sign. So just a second. One moment, please. I need to maneuver a couple of things because I didn't put my sign on. I think I'm going to put my sign right here at the bottom. Here's my sign that I picked up. And I'm going to put these cable ties on here. These work great because it has the sticky stuff on the back. They're just hard to start. Hey, Paulette. I'm just putting my pipe cleaner through there. And I'm going to get the sign in between. Oh, you just got off work? Well, I'm glad you could join me. Just securing my sign to the base. And because it's such a big frame, I'm having to rustle just a little bit. Hi, Benita. All right, got one down. I'm going to do the other one. There is a chunk of Evergreen stuff, so it's hard for me to get my wire in there. So forgive me for putting this up again, but I'm trying to get it secure. Hey, Peggy. All right. All right, so now I have to do a couple of adjustments. I have to visually look at it again. All right. Just so that I can get a better picture of how my bow's going to look, I'm going to go ahead and make it. Okay. So I'm thinking, oh, let me ask you, should I just stick to just the red and black buffalo check, or should I add the, the red and black? Should I add the black and white as well? Let me know what you think. Thank you. Dawn, I'm not doing 6 inch, I'm doing 5.5. This is a big one, so I'm gonna try to get the loops as many loops as I can. And decide whether or not I'm gonna add some tails. Hello, and thank you guys for watching us. It has been a fun-filled day so far. I can't wait to see what else comes up. My good friend Rachel with Rachel Unique Crafts will be up after me. So be sure to check out her page. I am looking and I might have to get my husband to bring me some more ribbon. Babe. All right, I'm going to use a zip tie. Just get this real tight. I'm going to use my cutters to... My husband can't hear me, so I will probably have to add some tails later. Oh, thank you. I am very fortunate to have this workspace. But as a crafter, you know there's never enough room. All right, so here's my bow. And I'm just going to put it up over on the side here. It's so fun to watch all the different, you know, designers. Just going to put this on. This is a 36-inch base.
Hello.
Hello. Can you look in the room for this buffalo? It's when you go in, it's on the right-hand side. Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He must be watching. That's why. Bring it. And you can say hello if you like. This is my hubby.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I was just, the spool looked bigger when I put it up. So, all right, so I'm just going to, bless you.
Thank you.
Do my tuck tails. Everyone say hello, hubby. All right, I may need, Kim, thank you, first time watcher. Where are you watching from? All right, so what I am thinking is I may cut a couple more of this ribbon and just add a couple of loop-de-loos, or what do you call them, rabbit ears. Let's see. I want to fix, maybe I'll put that other ball down here. I've lost it just that quickly. Where did it go? I'll just add it right here. Thank you. I will be putting this wreath up in my breakfast room. Hello from Texas. My husband and I went there for our anniversary a couple of years ago. We were in San Antonio. We loved it. Our hotel was right across the street from the Alamo. I will admit, we thought the Alamo was going to be a little bit bigger, but it wasn't. But everyone was so nice. We loved our time there. We are going for rustic in just that room. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. We may not like it, but we'll see what it looks like. Dawn and Susan did a great job organizing this marathon for us. We're so appreciative. This ribbon isn't as sturdy, so I'm not going to make big loops because it's just going to, they'll just be floppy. And no one wants floppy. But I will intertwine this a little bit just to give it a little loop here. And I will do the same on the other side. Never, never. We're just glad you made it. This has been a fun day. I'm going to go ahead and ducktail. for the record, you visualize things and you have in your mind for it to go a certain way, and then when it's time to actually do it, it comes out totally different. But that's called creativity, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We all do. As a small business owner, I must say, this group of this community of crafters have been great. Everyone doesn't hesitate to provide their expertise, give you some tidbits. I've learned so much. Rachel, my friend who's coming up after me, she was instrumental in helping me get my first 100 viewers on YouTube. So she made sure that she was sprinkling the love for me. So I was so happy. She didn't know me, but she was part of the community and thought, you need to get some more followers. So she started spreading the love for me. All right. So I'm just going to do a little curl here too. I was at a craft show a couple of weeks ago, and I was showing on a video how I make things, and someone was coming by and he was like, you don't want to share all your secrets. I was like, no, if one of us wins, we all win. So, you know, that doesn't bother me. So he was like, I like your attitude. I'm thinking, of course. I'm thinking, no sense. There's no top secrets here. We want to make sure that we're all successful. So, all right. Tell me what you're thinking so far. Oh, I might be a little bit crooked. Sorry. Where's my sign? Okay, I can't even see my sign. Sorry. I see a bald spot up here, so I'm going to figure out. I think, yeah. I think I will add. Hey, Vanita. Let's see if I can add this in. Thank you. It's a different kind of buffalo crab, but we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. I just didn't like the space between over there. So the bow is off to the side. It's not centered. So thank you so much. For sure. For sure. God has enough lessons for all of us, so I'm not going to be stingy. All right, let's see if I need to fill in. I have a couple of these just to bring out some more of the white. Just looking for some empty spots. Yeah, all right. Yes, Rita, yes, I agree. They only want you to get better, and that's what I love. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get this attached. Oh, here we go. All right, we have this one. One more. I am just connecting. It has a stem, so what I'm doing is just twisting the pine needle around it just to secure it in there. All right, and then I'm going to add one more right up here. And because I have 15 minutes before I add that, I'll just walk through what I did just as a recap to the recap. So I used a 36-inch evergreen base, and I first added on this black and white 10-inch mesh, which I cut at 20 inches. And I only cut about 12 of them just as some filler. Then I added these cute little garland balls, and then everything else are little accents with these nice large jingle bells. We have some pine cones and different pine shapes. I don't think I'm going to be able to reach that one over there, but and then I haven't added these yet, but I probably will add on. I have a believe sign and a peace sign, so we'll figure out where I'm going to put that. Oh, I have 4. Okay. See, I'm going to put this one right here. For all of you first-time watchers, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We appreciate your support. And it might be overkill, but I'm just going to put another one right up here by this bow. Maybe down here. If we don't like it, we can take it out. Let's see. I didn't use any glue tonight, or this afternoon rather. Everything was used with the just the tails from the base. My bow just got squished. Okay. All right. This is what we have so far. Sorry guys, because I know it's not centered. All right. Let's just see if we have space just to add these last 2 pieces. I have this hack, but I'm not really feeling this one, so we won't add that. But I will just, this has a little gold shimmery to it, so this might give it a little pop. But let's see where we can hang it. After my live, please be sure to go over to Rachel Larry, oh I may have said her last name wrong, Rachel Lowry Bailey's site. She's Rachel's with Unique Craft. She has some really great craft ideas. I love watching her. Let's see. I don't want to hide it. Trying to maneuver it like it's a Christmas tree. Do we? Yes, thank you, Robin, for putting Rachel's information there. I think I'm going to add it down here at the bottom. I'm trying my best. No problem, Rita. Thank you so much. Just adding this little sleeve one. And maybe I will add the piece one up at the top there. Or maybe not. It may not really need it, but this wreath is definitely full, so I can tuck it. It'll have a hint. You can see the hint of that gold shimmer. We adopted a family for Christmas, and so we were out getting clothes, and they're for, you know, younger, the 12 month to I think 9 years old. So we were out shopping, and my husband's like, "You had fun doing that." I said, "I loved it. I miss shopping for little ones." Thank you, Joy. All right, now I'm just looking around to see whether or not I need to, just on the bottom here, see if I need to add any mesh so that when it's hung, there's not much green left, but I might do a couple pieces. There we go. I'm going to cut just a couple more pieces of this mesh. One of my pine cones has escaped. I cut them at 20 inches. And I'm just going to fill in around here on the side. It'll be up high, but I'll see it. You won't be disappointed with Miss Rachel. Uh-oh. My bracelet got stuck. I'm just making a little curl with it, and I'm just going to put it right here because there's like a little ball spot. And I know it's just a personal preference. You know, some people don't mind seeing the greenery. I don't mind seeing it, but I would just like to see less of it. I'm going to do one here at the bottom. Oh, that pine cone finally fell. Again, a big shout out to Dawn and Susan for putting on this weekend's marathon. Tomorrow I should be all finished once I hang this up, and finish the little trees on my counter, oh, my husband actually has to put up the outside garland that I made last year. So once that is up, I'm gonna try to get all that done before the marathon starts so that I don't miss anyone, and I can put my feet up and enjoy the rest of these creative. I'm gonna do 2 more right here. Thank you, thank you. So appreciate it. And now that I have one marathon underneath my belt, I look forward to the next one. Okay. We are almost done here. It has been so much fun hanging out for this hour. All right. I think, okay, one more. Hey Donna, we are almost done here. Actually, I'll just use this last roll. No sense of saving a couple of inches. We made a 36-inch wreath. The base was a 36-inch evergreen base that I added. It's 10-inch deco mesh cut at 20 inches. I then added the red and black checkered garland balls. And then we have some jingle bells, some pine cones, sorry. Some other wintry greenery. We have the sign, and we made a couple of loops with this black and white checkered. I think we are done. What do you guys think? It is definitely big. Dawn, do you want pictures of the finished product in its where it's going to be, or do you just want it on a black and white on a white background? Because I can take a picture of it once it's up on the window, or I can take a picture of it on the door. Thank you so much. Put it up again. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, thank you. Now I think we have a couple of minutes before Rachel's Unique Crafts comes up. Okay, perfect, perfect. So please be sure to hop over to Rachel's Unique Crafts site to watch her, as well as all of the rest of the presenters for today, and then all day tomorrow. So I look forward to it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to participate in such a great event. I had such a good time. Here we go. You guys have a great evening, and I will be in touch. Have a great night.